What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Welcome to Alex Sports Talk and Bets. Make sure you click that subscribe button because we about to be making some money off the NBA playoffs. And with that being said, let's just get to the topic. Because it is Monday, the NBA playoffs are set. They don't even start until tomorrow with the play-in games, and they don't start for real until this weekend when the actual playoffs begin. And already, all over my timeline, all on ESPN, all on social media is the Knicks haters. The haters have arrived and they are out in full force. All right. And you already know what they're going to say. Like, look, let me guess. You think Jalen Johnson can be the best player in the series, right? Because we already seen Jalen Brunson pack up Donovan Mitchell. We already seen Jalen Brunson pack up Joel Embiid. We already seen Jalen Brunson pack up Cade Cunningham last year. We already seen Jalen Brunson pack up the Celtics last year, even though for some reason the Celtics have somehow become a better team than the Knicks again, who just packed them up last year, and the Celtics actually lost more pieces than they gained. But I digress, okay? Let me guess. Right? Dyson Daniels can make the series very hard for Jalen Brunson, right? Let me guess. Karl Anthony Towns will show up. He might not show up. Nobody's sure if the all-star, arguably one of the top 3 best bigs in the league, no one's sure if he'll show up, right? Let me guess. I think the Hawks are just a tougher squad, even though they haven't won a playoff series, right? It's already started. The Knicks are the team everyone wants to pick to somehow get upset in the first round. You guys do this shit every single year. And yes, I said shit. This channel's not monetized yet, so who cares? You guys do this every year. And every single year, you're wrong. The Knicks have not lost a first-round playoff series since Jalen Brunson has been on the team. And they're not going to start doing it this year. I don't understand. You know, the reason I started this channel is because I realize most people suck at sports betting simply because they get bad information from the media. We are in the worst era of sports media in history because sports media isn't really sports media anymore. You spend more time with quote unquote media personalities not analyzing the game. You know, like Stephen A. Smith today couldn't even call Jalen Johnson by his right name. He kept calling him Joe Johnson and all this other types of stuff. Things that are not his name. His name is Jalen. But I digress. Either way, people are so focused nowadays on how much money players are making. People are so focused nowadays on who the players are sleeping with and who their girlfriends are. People are so focused nowadays on whether or not they're driving drunk. People are so focused nowadays on everything that has absolutely nothing to do with actual talent, basketball analysis, sports analysis in general, that you guys listen to the narratives. It's a very narrative-driven society. You guys listen to the narratives and you go out and you bet based upon the narratives, and then you cry when you lose money. You will never lose money listening to any talking heads at ESPN or any of the other networks because they are entertainers. All right? That's it. They are not analyzing the game, and they are always going to steer you wrong. There's a bunch of people out now probably putting money on the Hawks to upset the Knicks, and it is not going to happen. There's zero chance that is going to happen. Now, if you were a smart man who actually understood the game yourself, so you didn't even need these fake-ass analysts to tell you anything, you actually paid attention to the league and you watched what was going on, you would know that of all the top 4 seeds in both conferences, the Western and the Eastern Conference, the top 4 seed across both conferences that actually has a very, 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 very high probability of getting knocked off in the first round is the Denver Nuggets. Half the squad is injured, and ironically, outside of Joker's always a matchup problem, but they do got Rudy Gobert, who, he's not going to stop him, but he can slow him down a little bit. The reality is Denver has nothing for Anthony Edwards. Absolutely nothing. He's already packed them up before. So if he packed them up with Cat, and Cat's better than Julius Randle, of course, but if he packed them up with Cat, he most likely can pack them up with Julius Randle too. So if you want to talk about a team that should be very scared and very nervous that they might not make it out the first round, the team that you should want to talk about really should be the Denver Nuggets. But because everybody likes to hate the Knicks, Knicks for clicks, everybody wants to say it's the Knicks who are going to lose. Now, I want you guys to understand, if the Knicks play anybody and it's not the Raptors, they're not going to be picked to win. That's just the reality of the situation. People are like, oh, this was a bad matchup for the Knicks. Every matchup is a bad matchup for the Knicks if you let the media tell it. All right, the Celtics, who they just beat last year, and now they got Jason Tatum out there too early because he's scared that everyone's going to finally realize that he's not as good as they hyped him up to be. They won that championship mainly because of Porzingis. right? Porzingis was the X factor on that team, and because of Jaylen Brown, not because of Jason Tatum. But I digress. He wanted to come back because he didn't want to lose his status as a top young player in the league, which has already been lost. He's already been replaced by Shai Gilgeous. He's already been replaced by Tyrese Halliburton. He's already been replaced by Cade Cunningham. So it's already happened. He's already been replaced by Jalen Brunson. So it's already happened, but he wants to come back to try to stop it from happening. He's on one damn leg. They ain't beating the Knicks. But like I said, according to the media, they're going to. All right. Then we got the Cavs, who the Knicks have already packed up multiple times. And because they have old ass, not in his prime, no defense playing James Harden, I'm supposed to believe it's going to be different this year. All right. Then you have the Pistons, who the Knicks already packed up just last year. And I'm supposed to believe it's going to be different this year. When they don't have the explosive scoring anymore of Malik Beasley. If you actually watch the Knicks Pistons series, I know y'all don't actually watch basketball, but if you did, you know Malik Beasley, when he got hot and was drilling 6-7 threes in a row, that's the only reason in the only games where the Pistons gave the Knicks problems. But now all of a sudden this year, you think the Pistons, who didn't beat the Knicks at home one single time last year, is going to all of a sudden beat them at home this year and beat them in the Garden. It's not going to happen. I don't see it happening. Right? Now, I'm also not going to be one of these people who act like the season's a failure if the Knicks don't win the championship. Like, on paper, everybody's season's a failure if they don't win the championship. But because you guys believe in narratives and you always move the needle, prime example. On this very channel, and no, I'm never letting this go, by the way. On this very channel, I was told that championships are a team accomplishment. Therefore, right, Jordan Love having playoff wins and Justin Herbert having none doesn't make Jordan Love better than Justin Herbert, right? Even though we all call Brady the GOAT because of a quote-unquote team accomplishment, but I digress, right? So in theory, right, if the Knicks get close or they get back to where they were last year, which was at least the conference finals, or they get to the finals and maybe lose the finals, it should be considered a good thing. But because they're the Knicks, it won't be. You know, everybody wanted to praise the Pacers for losing in the finals last year. I guarantee you if the Knicks lose in the finals this year, there will be no praise. There's not going to be any praise for it. Just like they didn't get any praise for making the conference finals last year. Just like they didn't get any praise for beating the Celtics. Just like they didn't get any praise for beating the Pistons. Just like they didn't get any praise for beating the Cavs. Just like they didn't get any praise for beating the Sixers. You know, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. At the end of the day, people love the Knicks. Now, I'm telling you guys right now, don't lose yourself money. The Hawks have no chance. They will not beat New York. They have no chance. No chance. The Knicks have a better bench. They have a better starting lineup. They have a better coach. They're just better. They have a better fan base. They have a better arena. They're just better. They got better color scheme. They're just better. They're in a better city. They're just better. Now, if you want to be stupid enough to listen to the media and run out there and put your money on the Hawks, you got money to give away, knock yourself out, right? But if there's one team besides that excuse me, guys. If there's one team that I'm comfortable is not losing in the first round, outside of OKC and outside of San Antonio, it's definitely the New York Knicks. All right? Now I'm going to tell y'all something else to keep your eye on. If the Pistons draw the Charlotte Hornets in the first round, that could be very, 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 very interesting. That could be very interesting. But because they're in a play-in, we won't even know, whether or not they're going to get the Charlotte Hornets. So we'll see with that. But as far as the Hawks go, the Hawks beat the Knicks, I don't see it at all. This is just media propaganda, and please don't be stupid enough to lose your money believing in it. Anyways, with all that being said, y'all, I am Alex, and I am out. Peace.